Hello, this is Idodmg and welcome back to the channel. In this last Epoch video, I want to give my reactions to the video that they announced for the item and trading factions. There is the Circle of Fortune faction and the Merchants faction, and we've known about this for quite some time, and we finally got more juicy details today. I just wanted to share my reaction to the video that Judd Kobler posted today. Let's go ahead and see what Judd has to say about this new faction system.
Founder of 11th Hour Games and game director for Last Epoch. Today, we will be discussing the highly anticipated item faction system coming to the full release of Last Epoch on February 21st. We're very excited to release this innovative new way for players to participate in the deep and rewarding item hunt that Last Epoch offers in the way that they like to play. By joining the Merchants Guild, you will be able to buy, sell, and trade items through the bustling bazaar. Or, if you choose to join the Circle of Fortune, you'll set your sights to the stars and be able to bolster your item acquisition through prophecies and increased item drop rates. This system is the result of...
So I already know that I'm going to be going Circle of Fortune, and just to see that they have this telescope system and this little system here looks super awesome, and I can't wait to dig into it. And then we also saw the Merchants Guild. I mean, let's be honest, I'll end up checking out both. But the Merchants Guild was kind of like an auction house type system, it looked like there as well. Let's see what else there is.
Many years of debating what the ideal trade system should look like in a loot-based action RPG, tons of collaboration with our amazing community, and many sleepless nights of game design meetings with our game design team. We found through extensive polling that players of action RPGs are split nearly down
Now this part's pretty interesting. I'm curious what you guys think about this here.
the middle when it comes to those who want their experience to heavily involve trade and an economy, and those who want to focus on finding items themselves or with close friends. We believe that through the item faction system, we will deliver a tailored and exciting path to hunt for top-tier items for both camps of players. In Last Epoch 1.0, you will join a...
So pretty much what he's talking about is there's certain players like me, like I prefer solo self-founded. I prefer finding my own gear. I don't enjoy getting the handout. I like to put in the work and finding my own gear and let that mold my build for each playthrough. I really love that part of action RPGs, and I always have. I've never really been a big fan of running the economy and trying to, min-max a market type thing. But I'm curious, what side of the camp are you on? Are you one of those that, likes to try to study the economy? I can understand why people would be drawn to the Merchants Guild as well. It just gives your items a little bit more extra value so that you can trade with other players and stuff like that, and so then you're always thinking about what another player might want for their build. But I don't know, maybe that's why I prefer the solo self-found route, so I can just focus on my own build and not think about other players that might need an item that I found or something like that. I don't know, maybe it's laziness or selfish, but anyway, let me know in the comments what side of the camp you are. Do you prefer SSF, or do you prefer like just have open trade all the time? Like, what do you prefer? I think they're doing it right here where they're kind of giving you the choice. But I've seen arguments where people say, well, just give open trade like other games, or don't have trading at all. But yeah, I think they're doing something interesting and unique, and I'm really, really excited to see how it's going to unfold over Last Epoch's launch and into the future. Let's see what else Judd has to say.
faction once you reach the great mercantile city of Majelka. When you select to join the Merchants Guild or the Circle of Fortune, a new interface will become available that will let you access details about your current status with your faction, known as reputation, how much favor you currently have.
When I first saw this interface, I immediately thought it was a battle pass and was like, no, please no. But it's not a battle pass. It's actually the faction UI that we'll
And what benefits your faction.
hopefully hear more about.
Let's talk about these briefly. Reputation within a faction is a core part of how the faction is going to be benefiting you on your journey. As a representative of that faction, you will continue to increase your reputation by killing enemies and completing quests. For the Merchant Guild, this includes participating in the bazaar and completing trades at your current level. And for the Circle of Fortune, this means completing prophecies that will divine certain items after fulfilling the foretold conditions. Through earning reputation, you will ascend ranks within your faction, earning you unique benefits and options. Once you have earned reputation within a faction, that reputation stays with your account in that game mode. This means if you rank up a cycle character, all of your other cycle characters will have that rank when they join the same faction and contribute to that faction's reputation gain. You may switch factions and earn and maintain reputation with them with no penalty to your earned reputation with the other. There are current
I love that it's account bound. At first I thought, well, that doesn't really cater to my solo self-founded nature, but I have a feeling that factions are going to take a while to level up. So the fact that it is account wide, you don't lose rep when you switch between factions as well is super awesome. I love the fact that it's account wide. That kind of makes the game, it makes me feel like the game respects my time a little bit more, if that makes any sense.
Currently 10 ranks to achieve in each faction, with the latest
And ranks.
requiring quite a bit of commitment in order to obtain. So, while you have the freedom to change your faction at any time, you will want to pick a faction and stick with it to reach the most powerful benefits that they have to offer. It is important to note that you can only be a member of one faction at any given time per character, and items earned with the benefits from those factions will require that you are aligned with them in order to use them. So most players will want to stick to a faction that rewards their preferred playstyle. Next, let's talk about Favor. Favor is the
And that makes perfect sense so that you don't get like a really overpowered item from, one. It just makes it so that, leveling up with that reputation is just more rewarding, really, I think, anyway. So you're not just freely passing items between factions. And I feel like the factions are going to have more mechanics that tie into itemization as well, but I don't know. We'll see.
currency you will earn while slaying enemies or completing quests for each of the factions. Favor is separate from reputation. This currency can be used to either complete trades with the merchants,
Favor, okay.
acquire new prophecies from the Circle of Fortune, and if you find yourself with excess favor, you can always spin the wheel with the faction gambler. Item gift.
I love this. I love this. I love the gambling aspect on action RPGs. And I'm curious to see though if the faction gambler, if the items that you can buy with that favor, if they're more rare, have a higher chance to be better than just like normal gambling with gold. We'll have to see about that.
And it isn't going anywhere. However, it's important to note that once you have joined a faction, items will start being tagged with the faction you were part of when they dropped. This means that while questing, if you are a member of the Merchants Guild, and an item drops for you, that item will still be shareable with anyone who is in the party, like always, and be available to be sold, provided that you meet the rank requirements in the Merchants Guild Bazaar. Just be sure that the person you are trading it to also meets the same faction requirements. The last use case we wanted to solve for are friends who choose to play together and just want their own little trade group.
Yeah, so like if you and your buddy are playing COF, like can you trade items at all or not? And I know right now they have like the gifting system. So I kind of hope that you can do that using that system, like kind of just a trade between your buddies that you play with. But
Which brings us to resonances, which are a new type of item that can be found when you are questing with your friends or party members. This item can be used to enable an item to be gifted specifically to the player that you
and it's based on the rarity.
weren't there when the item dropped. We know a lot of times players will play with their friends and then later you'll be soloing a piece of content and the perfect item drops for your buddy. Well, thanks to the new resonance system, you will be able to give them that perfect item the next time you see them. As those of you
And we knew about the resonance system. It just isn't in the game yet, but we knew that it was coming with 1.0. So it's just great to see that they've literally thought of every single thing to kind of please as many people as possible. Because the action RPG genre players, we know what we like, we know what we stick to, and it's nice that they're trying to cater to all those audiences and not separating the player base for sure.
who love loot-based action RPGs know, trade and economy is a very complex and divisive issue to solve for when catering to a large player base and different playstyles, while keeping the item acquisition hunt feeling great. We can't wait to get your feedback.
That's a huge thing. Like, I don't like action RPGs that have a super complex economy that's like its own separate game. It's like, I just want to slay monsters and get loot. I don't want to have to worry about this economy over here.
Feedback on the system that we've come up with alongside you, and we thank you for all of your continued input and passion for helping make
I think those were the lenses
action RPG.
for the telescopes.
So much more to explore with the item faction system, so check out the deeper dive we have on our forums.
I'll have to do that.
You in Last Epoch.
I'll check out the deep dive. Pretty hype, man. That was the trade and item factions overview. There's a more of a deep dive down over on their forums, and I believe also on Steam. I'll have a link down in the description if you want to read through that deep dive by yourself. But perhaps in the future we'll do more of a deep dive video, as this was just kind of my reactions to the video that we got from Judd Kobler. But hey, that's one reason that if you think I've earned it today, to go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can get more action RPG videos. You don't want to miss out on anything super awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.